Very tired.
I'm starting to get there. Yes, Jeff Guthrie, the mics were off. We were just getting this. The last show went a little bit longer, so I wanted to start the stream to let everyone know that we are here, but we were doing other stuff, so we had the microphones muted. So,
Who's Ronnie? Ronnie, did you fire Ronnie?
No, I got him coming back here in a minute. He's on assignment right now. All right. We do have a big boy conversation come up here.
We do?
I tagged you on Facebook. Did you not get your tag today?
Like I said, I've been going nonstop. Is it scary stuff?
No. In fact, I haven't done a story yet just for this show. I haven't done a GMP article. And so we got a good crowd already checking us out on Segment Media. Oh! Facebook comment.
It's working?
It's working.
Holy smoly.
I did absolutely nothing different.
Okay.
So if you're actually watching on Facebook, it's on there. But, look, notes.
What did I do wrong?
This is how when I do a Guthrie Newspage
Can I
article.
see it?
No. When I do a newspage article, I write my handwritten notes, and then I just do my story that way.
Why can't I see it? Why can't I see it?
Because we're going to have a conversation, and it's going to be really, really important. I'm so glad the comments are working on Facebook, so we can have more discussion on this, because this show could be a tool for future decisions. It won't be the only tool, but I think it'll be a good start of conversation to see. And this is going to be for most of our Guthrie folks. So, this is kind of turned into a Guthrie show a little bit. But our high school huddle is more of a statewide type deal. But this is going to be for our Guthrie deal, and I think there's some really good conversations to have here. So,
Glad you could join us, Ronnie.
Is it about the pool? It is about the pool.
Push the button.
And we got a lot to talk about that. Larry says, is there a chance Tulsa to upset OU this week?
No.
Can we at least think about it?
Okay.
No.
Thank you, Ron.
Yep.
Dallas says, I think we will see Owasso and Bixby play in December. I think Dad, Coach Blankenship, didn't want to get his son fired. They were
Up 38-7.5.
up 38-7.5. I think that's
fair.
Lot to that. A lot to that.
It's awful generous.
Well,
Team after the.
He's got to go home to Mama Blankenship. Don't want Junior moving back in the house.
So, anything else? Hey, you were gone, right? But look at this. On
Facebook's working now.
Facebook comments.
Oh, and Shirley's watching.
Yeah.
How did that? This just happened to work. I fixed it.
Boy,
while
push the
you're
button.
gone. What for?
Well, we haven't talked about what the show's about.
Oh,
What's the show about?
Well, you wouldn't let me look at the list.
Well, that's my topic that I'm bringing to the show.
That's one topic?
It's one. Yeah.
Front and pack is one topic. Well, hell, we're not no time to talk about anything else.
That's the only thing?
We need ambulances in Guthrie.
Oh, we can talk about
Every
EMS.
year.
I've been waiting to have a
Need
discussion.
ambulances.
I've been wanting to have a discussion with EMS funding.
Well,
You know what? EMS funding will kind of come into the discussion.
raising taxes on people now, Phil.
I don't raise taxes.
No, there's only one person on this table who don't raise taxes on the
I
community.
have no impact on the taxes in this town.
You have more impact than I thought you did.
Fees are another thing.
Well, we will be talking about taxes and options as far as funding this pool. There was a special meeting.
Funding the pool.
Funding. Well, do we need a pool?
Well, that's a question.
That is a question.
Let's talk about it. Push button.
All right.
Oh, boy. Now Ronnie's in a hurry.
Welcome to the Open Mic Podcast with Chris Evans, Phil Nichols, along with Ronnie Phillips. The Open Mic Podcast is part of the Second Banana Media Podcast Network. Coming to you live from Guthrie, Oklahoma, inside the Second Banana Media Studios, here's Chris Evans.
Welcome inside the Open Mic Podcast. So glad you're spending your Wednesday night with us. If you're watching the live show, if you catch a replay, appreciate that as well. It is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, episode 66. Already dark outside.
I got my Christmas tree up already.
What?
Do you really?
Oh, here, November 1st, I will.
We don't put our tree up till like 2 days before Christmas.
Every year we decide if we're going to put a tree up or not.
Yeah, not big tree people.
When you had kids?
Yeah, went all out when the kids were there.
He's got 3 boys, so.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for you.
They are prime Christmas age.
Yeah, no doubt. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Halloween, we wake up, put the tree up November 1st.
That's awesome. No, that's good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
We never went that early. Sometimes we don't even put a tree up. We have lately, though.
Mom's had hers up for 3 years now. She's taking it down.
When I was 7 years old, I saw Santa Claus putting the presents out under the tree. Changed my life that day. Rough day.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Yeah, Mom's been up for over 2 years now.
Mom says?
Yeah, she's taking it down.
Well, she's festive.
Yeah. There are other reasons, but.
Well, she's festive. We're going to go with that.
Well, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, boy.
We got to talk about money. We got to talk about the community.
Phil raising taxes?
I don't raise taxes.
Phil doesn't raise taxes.
I don't. Thanks, Chris.
It's just fees.
Fees.
So,
Fees fix everything.
do you have? Is it legal?
No. I did 26 yards today. Don't have time for that today. Yeah.
I don't.
weak.
I think this topic will probably take up a good part of the forum here. And so when we get talking about the pool, it's going to be about the pool. And I got notes, and we're going to have some discussions here. I lean one way.
We have arguments?
Could be.
Oh, okay.
I might be in the minority. I might be in the minority of this.
Well, Chris
deal.
obviously doesn't want a new pool.
He may not be in the money.
I can be. I think I could be if we do this or do that. We'll talk about it. Okay. We'll talk about it.
Just give him a charge fee.
Fixes everything.
Scott Russell says, Chris, or he didn't say Chris, my bad. Great call on the game last week. Thanks. Yeah, it was a fairly comfortable broadcast last week in
Our bellies were full.
Duncan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Huge
job.
thank you to
Yeah,
the people. We
big time.
did that on social media, but a huge thank you to the people at Duncan. They fed us dinner, dessert, got some gifts.
clone.
We got a handwritten note.
Yes.
Tony asked if Ronnie smelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her no.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah. So I hope Grant Oliver's watching. He's down in the Duncan area, but he loves him some city council.
He does.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking.
He knows more about our
so.
city council than he does in Duncan.
You battled a king cobra today?
Ronnie
I
battled
did.
a king cobra today.
Fought a
You didn't
king
have
cobra
time
today.
for Is It Legal?
That's
Is a king
fact.
cobra legal?
Did
Yeah.
you see the video?
I did.
Oh,
that was funny.
Nate's embellishing a little.
No, this is king cobra.
Yeah,
It's my story.
let's give him that.
Oh, your story.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. He's alive too, and I picked it up.
Did you buy the set off?
You need some different utensils. A stick is not.
It's just a little old king cobra.
Being a man, how to be a man.
Was your wife watching?
Yes,
She was recording.
Yes, and I tried it, and I was so proud of myself because I hate snakes. I don't like being around snakes, but Sarah said, you need to be more of a man sometimes. So I went down to be a man, and after I told her, I said, "You proud of me?" She goes, "No, you're an idiot. What are you doing touching that thing?" I said, "What? I thought you like that."
That line is trademarked by Tanya Nichols. Sarah's not allowed to use it.
Oh no, she used other words.
Oh, okay.
This is the G version.
Yes,
yeah.
got
This
it.
is the G version.
Got it. Wait,
Yeah.
Sweet Sarah curses?
Ooh, she was in the mood today.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, that got her
Is
away.
she watching right now?
No, I guess not. I don't know.
She's probably recovering. Long day for her too.
Yeah,
right?
long day for her too. She had
She's
a
been
headache.
cooking dinner, she's probably washing the clothes right now.
She better be.
Doing everything.
She should do that before she leaves the house.
I think she should.
Oh, here we go.
That's what I thought. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's just get into it because this might take a while.
Get the Chris. Guess we're doing Chris's topic first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, G.F. Guthrie's here, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
geographic.
good to see G.F. Guthrie. Always formerly from Texas.
Yeah.
We think.
So they say, yeah.
Formerly of Texas.
We think.
I don't think it is who you think.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay. Well, then why don't you?
I was trying to. I don't know. I'm tired.
Well, we got an important discussion here.
Well, let's go. Hit the button.
Oh, we already
hit
did
the
that.
button. Now let's
Before
go.
we do that, so you're learning about Phil. You're on the EMS board, right? The
Yes.
522 EMS.
Are you for fees, Phil?
Let's ease into this.
Yeah, it's easy into it. So, and it's a discussion that's been happening around Guthrie for a while. This is our main topic. It's a side topic here, but a really big deal across the state of Oklahoma is EMS funding.
Yeah.
And a lot of ambulance services are struggling to make ends meet, including Guthrie EMS. You can file your insurance. Some of it pays, some people don't pay.
A lot of people don't have insurance.
A lot of people don't have insurance, and so collection is a huge deal with EMS. And Guthrie EMS serves a big district.
Yeah.
All the way to Langston, all the way up north. It's a big district, and so
Almost half of the runs last month were outside of Guthrie city limits.
Yeah.
Almost half. There was over 1,000 runs outside of Guthrie
and you
city
can't have like Guthrie. You serve the school district, Guthrie School District. Plus, they pick up a couple other areas as well, and so that funding, which is filled by mills, and on your property tax, you'll see EMS, and it's 3.06 mills, and that was established a long, long time ago, and they're trying to, they brought it up last year to maybe go up to 10 mills with the state legislature. Didn't make it out of committee. Wasn't really a conversation. So they're just trying to find ways.
Election year.
Do you put it on some areas have utilities on their utility bill?
Yeah.
That was discussed in this area. It's not going to happen.
You can do it on the water bill.
Do it on the water bill.
But rural water's not willing to do it outside of the county.
Rural water's
outside
not.
of the city.
And Guthrie already pays a whole bunch of fees.
Some people pay nothing.
Ooh, can I be one of them people?
Right.
Some people pay nothing.
And
You
here's
want me to say who?
Langston University.
Langston University
Yeah.
pays nothing.
Town of Langston, they pay the mills.
The university doesn't.
University doesn't. And what a lot of people know.
Over 300 runs to Langston University last year.
Yeah, I believe it. I hear them.
Yeah.
I will also add this. If an ambulance, if you call and say, I fell and I'm hurt, the ambulance obviously will go to the patient.
Yep.
And if the ambulance does not transport, if the patient says, I'm okay, I'm fine, they drive back to the station. They're not charged. That is that the EMS lost money on fuel, everything.
Yeah.
They're not paid that. So
And you know what a new ambulance cost?
Well, good to hear. We have 5 of them, 5 total.
Yeah. 4 are operational.
Good to hear.
One's we're waiting on parts for one. That's
There was
broke down.
one just a while back. There was only 2 working ambulances, and they had to borrow one from Kingfisher.
We had 4 of 5 down on one time.
Yeah.
Real problem. Okay, we're off that topic. Go ahead,
Okay.
Chris.
Yeah. There's more to come on that later on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk here because this will probably be a segment by itself.
Okay.
So we got to go.
Okay.
Oh.
So this is official.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
This is when Chris gets serious.
And before we start with this official thing here,
Food. Nope.
we need your comments because we need a lot of feedback on this still. So. Okay.
Steph's watching.
Yeah. Steph says thanks for getting the snake out of his yard.
You're welcome, Steph. Bill's coming. Sarah saw it. You remember that bill invoice when Sarah saw the snake at your house?
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. $1,300 minimum.
All right.
That must have been a bigger snake.
Yeah, it's by the foot.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
All right. Guthrie City Council held a special meeting last night to discuss the municipal pool inside Highland Park, the community swimming pool, if you will. And it's been a topic throughout the summer. The pool did not open this year. Low water levels kept the pool from opening. And so City of Guthrie teamed up with Pelican Bay and the trolley, Pelican Bay in Edmond. And folks were able to go to Pelican Bay and free of charge. The City of Guthrie covered their entry fee. More on that here in a little bit. And so it's been back and forth on the pool that was built in the 1940s. It is showing its age. And the City of Guthrie owns the pool, and the YMCA operates the pool.
Yep.
City of Guthrie gives the YMCA $10,000 to operate the pool every year. $10,000 every year to operate the pool. If the I'm going through all my notes here. So if the YMCA were to have, if the pool was open this year and the YMCA was to run it, the YMCA would have lost $21,000 this season alone. And it's to note here, there's going to be some questions. Do we need a pool? Do we want a pool? And how do we fund it if we do? Well, those are the questions. We'll get to those here in a second. No matter what type of pool, and I'm on the YMCA board, and what I'm just saying here, but
you're not on.
no matter what pool you can build, a $25 million pool, you can build a $100,000 pool,
$8 million pool.
$8 million. That pool is going to lose money. Those pools aren't. You're not going to earn any money. You're going to earn money, but you're going to cost more into it. So it is not a revenue stream. It probably shouldn't be. It's a service. It's a service. It's a quality of life. And that's going to be another part of this entire issue is the quality of life. Okay. So I mentioned it's $10,000 from the Guthrie gives the YMCA to help them operate the pool. To fill up the pool is 240,000 gallons of water to fill it up.
What's that cost?
I got that here in just a second. The 240,000 there. So the pool right now leaks 40,000 gallons of water per day.
Per day.
40,000 gallons of water per day. That was a big part why the pool did not open this year. So the pool, when it's open, end of May, after school, all of June, all of July, and it closes about middle of August. So it's open 2.5 months of the entire year.
Why middle of August?
School's getting back in, and you can't swim.
Still hot in August.
I agree. But it's about middle of August, about when school starts. You can have the pool open, but no one's going to come, then you're really losing
even more money.
Oh, on weekends you'll be there.
So it leaks 40,000 gallons a day. So in that, we'll call it 90 days. Let's be generous. That 90 days of the operation, it loses $3.6 million or 3.6 million gallons of water. City's cost is $5.63 per thousand. That's $20,000
just for water.
for water.
In the $3 million that they lost.
Yeah, in that. Okay, the pool has concrete issues. Built in the 40s, so it's going to have concrete issues, right?
Yeah.
But the 60s,
They're putting black tar on it when I was swimming it back in the day.
It breaks. The concrete breaks. It chips. Okay, so if conversations that the city has learned, a new facility, start over, good looking facility, $9 million. $9 million. Okay, keep that in mind. Which the average cost per square foot on the low end, about $650. If you start adding more slides and shades and all that stuff, you're about $1,000 per square foot construction. Okay? Construction cost. The existing pool size to replace it, about $5 million. Because right now, I'll talk about this a little bit later on, the state has shown a lot of grace on the fencing, on the zero entry level. There's steps. There's no you gotta have
out of code everywhere.
Out of code everywhere. The state has put their foot down on a lot of it, but they're like, okay, it's an old pool, it's a service. Keep going, but
Be careful.
Be careful.
Yeah.
It's coming soon. Okay. So $4.5 million bucks to replace it or to refurbish, to retro, or $9 million ish to build a brand new facility.
Okay.
Is that the question?
Those are the.
He's still laying the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, still laying the foundation. So, do we need a pool? Is one question.
Do we want a pool?
Do we want a pool? If we do want a pool, do we want a $9 million one, or do we want a retrofit of about $4.5 million? I will say this.
Then how are we going to pay for it?
I will say this, and how will we pay for it?
Fees.
I will say this. The council last night approved $16,000 for a study to be done. And I'm kind of going out of my notes a little bit, but I want to go in order here. $16,000 for a service, and they will come out, right on schedule here. They will come out and survey the pool, the structure, the plumbing, the code compliance, why it's losing water, and what they think is, is it okay to retrofit it, to fix it, or you're like, you know what? It's beyond retro. You got to build a new facility. So that's the $16,000 question: is what will they come back? And that's where this entire project is on hold until that comes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah, 16,000 to figure out. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Keep your comments coming. We'll get to your comments here in just a second. Okay. So if it says, you know what, 4.5, or the retro is not going to work, you're going to have to build a new facility. $9 billion if Guthrie wants that. There are two ways to go about funding a pool.
How many kids use the pool?
I think I've heard 30 per day, and I've heard 50 per day.
Well, there's a reason because
30 per day. I think is the swimmers per day. I think the 50 gets into your water aerobics, swimming lessons, and your daily swimmers.
So let's go with 50.
We'll go with 50. Okay. We'll get to the Pelican Bay and how successful that was, because Guthrie had X amount of dollars and they ended up going over that for kids because he was afraid to get into the pool.
You're buying food in Edmond and everything else.
There's a rule, and this goes all the way back a long time ago. There's a rule that that the city can't borrow no more than finance more than $8 million a year. So if you're over $9 million, it's going to take a little bit more than that. So there are two ways to fund that. You can do it through a general obligation bond, which is a property tax. That's how the schools get their money, EMS gets their money, Logan County government gets their money, health department, property taxes. Or you can do a sales tax. Right now, Guthrie, 3.75%. Total sales tax is 9%. You can, in that CIP sales tax, that capital improvement sales tax that we passed and has been in effect for 7.5 years, it still has another 7.5 years to go. It's a 15-year sunset clause. So, talk about geo bonds. That's how the schools are from. That was immediately dismissed because there's a cities can go out for geo bonds, but there's a mutual agreement between schools and cities that cities get paid by sales tax, schools get paid by property taxes, and there's a mutual agreement. We won't go into your lane, don't come into our lane. They could do that.
Lanes are going to have to change in years to come
On this topic?
on a lot of topics.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk about that here in a second. So the proposed geo bond for $10 million on a 15-year loan. Okay.
They said no to.
Yes, I'm just throwing.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah,
I know.
they said no, absolutely, and they ruled it out quickly. But I want to bring this part up because when we talk about sales tax, you kind of forget. But to make it what it would feel like taking money out of your pocket to pay for this, if you have a $150,000 home, and now they would tie this into some other stuff. But let's say if you have a $150,000 home, it would cost you about $20 a month for the first year. And then after that, on average, $15 a month. So that is
For a pool that's being used by 50 people a day.
correct.
Because the pool's no good.
Because the pool's no good.
It's not fun. Nothing to do.
But
I'd like to know how many people went 20 years ago to the pool every day.
It's packed every day. $5 to get in.
Looking at it through the eyes of a child. I'd like to know how many people were actually there. Maybe it was.
It was packed.
Okay, maybe it was. But I'd still like to know how many it was.
Yeah, it was packed.
okay, so there's 7.5 years left on this CIP, the one that we passed not too long ago, that has fire engine, the police cars, Owens Field, all that stuff. Okay. So you can extend the tax another time. It wouldn't be a new tax, but it'd just be extension, kind of like maps. They always extend that there. So, all right. By the way, $250,000 home would be $34.05 the first year. After that, average monthly would be about $25.60. But that's not going to happen. The only way we move forward is with sales tax. This year, sales tax generated the CIP $1.7 million. Good year, really good year. So remember, you can only finance $8 million max. So then you start getting to moving $8 million this year, $8 million the following year, and it's got to match up, all that stuff. So right now, here are the projects, the CIP sales tax that are right now that has not been spent yet, but allocated for $4 million to help pay off the wastewater treatment plant. Got to keep that, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep that, right? Yeah. Okay. $1 million to Owens Field, to the baseball, softball complex. You got to keep that, right? Because that matches the grant that you were awarded with the grant. So,
the people voted on it.
And the people voted on it for the visitor tax. Yeah. So you got to keep that, right? $2.6 million for a street overlay project. $600,000 is allocated for Sooner Road. That would be a grant. $600,000 would be matched. They're trying to get Sooner Road. That's in Philly. Drive the road every single day. Yep. They're trying again. They've been trying. So you got to keep that. And then there's $4 million hold for industrial park. It hasn't been spent.
How much?
$4 million. Now, if you build the industrial park,
I don't know if we can figure a way out of this.
$4 million for the industrial park. We'll get to that part because that's the one where I can go. I can see that here. Okay. Here's some examples. Cushing. The Cushing pool is open the same time as the Guthrie pool. End of May, mid-August. Their operating budget is $220,000. City of Guthrie pays $40,000 to operate the pool. Mentioned $10,000 for the YMCA plus the additional for the water funding there. Kingfisher, I talked to my buddy over in Kingfisher, and the city continues to put money into Kingfisher. They're open 12 months of the year. They are open full time. It's an indoor facility. Kingfisher operates at $336,000 a year. Kingfisher revenue, Kingfisher pool made $90,000.
Profit?
Revenue.
So they brought in 90. It cost 300.
$336,000. So
yeah, I can do that math.
They lost $246,000. Now you get into quality of life and all that stuff, but Kingfisher lost $246,000. My source in Kingfisher, we put money. The city continues to worry. It's a big headache. It's nice when you go there for birthday parties. Woo, fun. But when you leave and come back, people there are dealing with headaches there. So
we're gonna get to talk.
No, he's
no, there's plenty of time to talk for everybody to talk.
All right, okay.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
So
I got questions.
City of Guthrie closed the pool, so they allowed Pelican Bay $8 to get into Pelican Bay. The one in Edmond, nice pool, slides, entry level, something Guthrie might not want. I don't know. City spent $25,000 this year to provide that service, and went a little over what they wanted to.
$15,000.
Right now, the YMCA, it's $3, I think, for non-members to enter the pool. So if you build this big old facility, and
it's going to need a new operator.
Can you charge $8 to get in?
It's nice enough you can.
There's people in town charging $21 for a hamburger and
no kidding,
and a drink.
Yeah, no kidding. I just got a meal myself and it was $13.
Yeah, I know.
From a fast food place.
From a fast food place, yeah.
So those are my notes. So again, the questions are: do we want a pool, and how does it get funded? So that's the groundwork. That's what's been going on for a little while here. I have my opinions on it. I will share those. I can be persuaded, I think. And
I got a question.
I don't want to take any more, so I'm going to answer questions, then I'll kind of throw my opinion.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Of the $16,000 fee, which is a small amount of money for the overall thing we're talking about, but what are they spending that for to find out what?
Plumbing, to find out where this leak is even coming from, what's causing the leak. They're going to look at all the code compliance, the pool, and whether this should be retrofit. If it can't be retrofit, then are they going to recommend something?
So the city council makes this decision by themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
Asking.
they had all this information.
This isn't something that would go to the vote of the people.
And right now, the city council, and we don't know if $4.5 million to retrofit. You can retrofit that. You do this, and this. You can retrofit it, or they come back and say this is 90 years old. This ain't working. This ain't working. Retrofit's not going to work. Now you got to build a whole new facility. You're not spending anything at all.
I think before you spend the 16 grand, you got to figure out first is having a city pool even a possibility, or why are you even spending the 16 grand?
Well, because I don't think they know that. They don't know that answer.
Well, you just told numbers for people that have a pool. It's a loss. You lose thousands and thousands of dollars.
I think there's a lot of people who want the pool and don't know all the details. They just want a pool, and the council doesn't want to throw. Okay, yeah, let's just throw $9 million at it when they can retrofit that. They don't know that.
Either I'm doing a horrible job communicating what I'm trying to say. That's probably what it is. But what I'm simply saying is if Phil and Tanya Nichols sit down and say, you know what, we want X. First thing we do before we even remotely start spending any money on it is we sit down and we go, is this financially feasible? Right?
Right.
So if you got all these other expenses, you know that you can't finance more than $8 million.
You can. Just over 2 years. I mean, so it is possible. You could.
But we got wastewater.
We got to have the vote of the people.
I understand, but we got all these other things because we got to remember, guys.
I haven't got to that part yet.
Remember,
I haven't got that part yet.
There's roughly 11,000 people that live in this town. We don't have hundreds of thousands of people to spread all these expenses out to.
And that property tax would only be for, it's not going to happen, but it would only be for the city of Guthrie people who live in the limit. Yeah.
So the first thing I would ask is, I don't think we should spend a dime until we really find out if this is something that, okay, first of all, what's the usage of it? What's the real usage of it? I think a lot more people used to go to the pool back in the day, right?
Yes, I agree. It's night and day.
But I don't think the only reason they're not going to the pool now is because the pool's not in good shape. I think a lot of reasons. I think there's other factors to that. That's a factor, but I think there's other factors too. I mean, I think I think government should be ran like we run our own personal budgets in our home. You can want something all you want, but if you can't pay for it, it doesn't matter how bad you want it.
I think I think they can pay for it if approved.
At the expense of what?
Well, it's going to be the taxpayer. I mean,
right. And let me just point this out.
I've learned. I think in the brief conversations, I think there's more people without knowing all the details and just not. They want a pool, and that's why I think. Listen. In a perfect world where money wasn't a question, of course we all want a pool for our kids. Yeah.
There's nobody that would argue with that. But you got to pay for it. And we got to choose between our toilets flushing and having a city pool. That's an easy decision.
What about a second fire station?
That's an easy decision.
Water lines,
That's
sewer
an easy
lines.
decision. What about ambulances for all this growth that we're having? I mean, all this stuff has to be paid for. I mean, I almost feel like and I'm not trying to be critical of the city council or anybody. I'm really not. But it almost feels like we're a bunch of just wild-eyed teenagers saying, well, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that. And I don't know how we're going to pay for it, but I want all this stuff. I mean, again, there's roughly 11 to, I hear different numbers, 11 to 12.
It's 11,000.
11,000 people that live in this city. We don't have an endless budget to do all these things. And you know what? Maybe we can have a pool down the road. I don't know. I think we're spending money. I think we're throwing good money at bad because you can't charge enough per head to ever make it pay for itself.
No matter if you live in Edmond, downtown Dallas,
doesn't matter. They don't pay for themselves.
They're not paying for themselves.
So to me,
so when they say it's $9 million to build a pool, what kind of pool are they building?
It's a nice one, entry level, slides, all that.
The same size as the one now.
I think
Smaller,
it'd probably be
bigger?
a little larger. Yeah, it'd be larger.
for 50 people,
They I think to argue the other side of that, it would draw more people.
Okay,
in.
so let's say it was 250 people a day.
Right.
So what percentage of the population base does that cover?
It's not going to cover the
But
cost.
that's my whole point.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to cover the cost.
That's in every town, though, right? Like you
Correct.
said. So I mean,
Hey,
so
Kingfisher made $90,000 on a pool. That's darn good.
Didn't make
Revenue.
Generated that.
That's good.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and they lost $200 and some thousand dollars.
$240,000.
I mean, this is an easy one for me.
I have kids. I would love for them to have a pool because
Bring them to Uncle Phil's.
It costs. It costs. You don't have a slide, Phil.
Oh, how are we ever going to make it? There's
My
not a
kids
slide.
want a slide.
No diving board. Oh,
No.
you have a diving board, but the pool doesn't have a diving board at Highland Park.
I'm just.
We'll go to Stephens. He's got a diving
I'm
board.
just confused by that. I mean, of course, everybody wants it, but you got to pay for this stuff.
I get it. I'd much rather go to a pool in Guthrie. If they had a nice pool, I would rather take my kids to a pool than spend $65,000, $80,000 paying a pool myself. Or much rather the city pay for it.
Well, which means all of us.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough money to pay for it.
I know. We got to figure out a way something.
Well, there you go.
Well, see, so tell me about this tax that the MAPS is doing. They're doing a 1 cent sales tax to get a $900 million for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who might not even be here much longer.
They will.
There's talks that they might not be.
Well,
But how many people are they drawing from?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it city of Oklahoma City or is it the entire Oklahoma County?
It's Oklahoma City's tax.
So it's the city only, not
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oklahoma County does not have a county tax.
We're going to tax, because there's two ways to look at this, right? So however we pay for this, because the argument will be, well, everybody doesn't have their own pool. Kids deserve nice things. The community deserves nice
Quality
things.
of life.
I agree with all
Those
that.
comments are coming.
And I agree with all that.
Yep. I do too.
I agree with every one of those statements. I also live in a real world where you got to pay for things. And if this was the only thing that we had, my attitude would probably be different about this. But it's not the only thing we have.
And another thing, if a sales tax was to be talked about, it would not just be money for the pool. It would be money for other stuff. They would
Youth sports complex, right?
They would piece of that stuff together. I don't know if I wrote down exactly what that would be pieced in, but there would be other little pieces. But still, do you want to be strapped because sales tax are hard to pass? I mean, the CIP.
Well, guys, the business owners that have to charge sales tax, they're already at 9%. You're going to start affecting people that are employing people that live in our community because
the other part.
Because revenue is going to leave our town and go to other towns on big ticket items
Already happening.
That I mean, and listen, these are all. There's going to be losers no matter what decision this is. There's going to be losers, But to me, you got to go back to the population base.
All right. So let's get some of these questions and comments on here real quick. And G of Guthrie says, we definitely need a pool if we want to attract residents to choose Guthrie over nearby communities.
Well, they're already choosing Guthrie.
So let me ask you this.
Real quick, John Paganis, Mitch Park Aquatic Complex partnered with the schools, city, and the YMCA to fund their facility. City council meeting last night. Dr. Mike Simpson was at the meeting. Guthrie schools is not going to be interested. They're more worried about textbooks and windows and computers. This is not nowhere near what the school, the YMCA would be, would need to be partnered on it. But
where are they going to find the money?
Yeah. So, but no, Guthrie does not have a swim team. That schools, that's not going to happen.
So let's just say, just theoretically speaking, Phil, help me out here. So let's just say Guthrie builds a new pool. They bring in $90,000. Okay, in Kingfisher, people go to the pool and they leave. They don't eat in town. If people were to come to Guthrie.
You don't think people are eating in town?
In Kingfisher?
Or they're going down the road to Ishans.
I go to that birthday cake.
We go to the pool all the time. We don't stop in Kingfisher and eat Kingfisher. We go back home.
That's completely situational.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. If Guthrie makes $90,000 in 1 year and they bring in people from other cities, how much are those people are going to eat in Guthrie? Because there's obviously more places to choose from than in Kingfisher.
I don't think it's going to make up $240,000.
Well, I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
loss.
But I understand that. But still, it's still good to get that revenue, though, right?
But
People
it's
are coming
negative
in.
revenue
for the pool.
for our community.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's negative revenue.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're taking money out of one pocket and putting it in the other. I mean, there's no.
That's why I brought up the quality of life deal, because that's where I'm strongly with you, Phil, right now on this situation.
And listen, when I was a kid,
They just hate kids, guys. That's all.
when I was a kid, every day the city pool was packed.
Yeah, we went all the time.
It was 1978, guys. Some things have changed.
You didn't have cell phones back then.
We didn't have a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot's changed in that time. I think the pool was something that was more in vogue than it is now for the masses.
The pool is the swimming pool, local city swimming pool is kind of like a buffet at a casino. It's an amenity. It used to have it. Now casinos are doing away from it because it doesn't make any money for them.
G of Guthrie, how do we build the tax base if we're taking away amenities instead of fixing them?
We aren't taking. This is one amenity. We've added tons of amenities in the city of Guthrie over the last several years.
Splash pads?
We've added a lot of stuff, and the splash pad is a loss.
Yeah, I mean,
I guarantee,
it's free to go there.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, so and I'm okay with that. You do those kind of things, but again, we got 7 things that we need to address just in the city of Guthrie, not counting the 7 things the school has to address, not counting the 7 things the county has to address. I mean, there's tons of things, and it all takes money, and we're doing it with a tax base. If you look at our whole county, that's a third the size of Edmond. So we got to quit comparing ourselves to Edmond. I mean, we don't have the same possible revenue as Edmond, so we need to quit doing that.
But people moving in to Guthrie, the 2,000 homes that are coming in the 900 next couple of years, isn't that going to help though?
It'll help, but you're still losing money.
Oh yeah, it's quality of life, Phil.
Well, you got to pay for quality of life, Ronnie. I mean, you can want quality of life all you want it. Somebody's got to pay for
Eric
it.
says, why is it $16,000 for someone to tell you? Eric's talking about.
To tell you what we already know.
Yeah.
Well, we don't.
I understand, but that was my argument. We need to figure out first: is this even is it something that's going to help the masses? Or are we doing this for a very small part of the population base?
I say if you're going to do it, do it. Don't patch it up and have to fix it again here in 5-10 years.
That's the question.
Yeah, there's
I
no.
think this will help the council. I don't have a problem.
I think spending $4 million just to patch it up, just to fix it again in 10 years, it's a waste of money. Well, don't even do that
and
part.
It would be a retro. They would have to do. You know, if you go in and redo a building, you're going to have to build it to code.
Yeah.
To code. So
Yeah. I would say
zero
no,
entry,
0 no on that
all
part.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Manica Gibbs. USDA has a grant right now. Aquatics applies.
How much is the grant?
G of Guthrie. Eddie said this tax extension can also go to other things. I did mention that, so appreciate there. John Bagonis. Okay, John, glad you bring this up. Industrial park can wait. Okay, there is discussion on that. Remember, I brought that up and I said bring it back later. Right now, the current CIP sales tax.
Did you see that thing?
I did not.
We have a vulture swim. Did you see the size of that thing?
I'll protect you, Phil.
Okay, thanks.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Thank you. $4 million of the current CIP tax has been allocated for the industrial park. Is the industrial park?
What's industrial park again?
Okay, industrial park, there's 80 acres that the city of Guthrie owns. College in Midwest over by I-35, the city owns that land. There's no utilities ran to that. And so the idea is to build an industrial park and bring in businesses, industries, to help jobs. Is that, so they had allocated $4 million for that to basically build the space and get it ready, shovel ready, and that bring businesses in. Is that?
It brings in jobs?
Well, it would, yes, help bring in jobs.
Yeah. No, don't put that on wait. Yeah, go ahead and start that.
$4 million? Yeah.
$4 million isn't going to scratch the surface.
I thought they already started it.
No.
Okay.
No,
$4 million isn't going to scratch the surface of what it takes to really get it going.
This gets utilities out there. This gets the all the work going.
But it's a start, and I'm not being critical of it. But again, $4 million isn't going to do the whole thing.
And you still got to bring businesses in after.
Still got to go find them, recruit them. Which then you go back to the argument that Gia Guthrie made. Do people want to come to a town? I mean, now what you got to really figure out is a pool something that everybody looks at that says if you don't have a pool, we're not coming to your community.
Right.
Okay, I don't think it is.
So the question is, would you want to have a $4 million go to industrial park or $4 million to go to a pool?
Industrial park.
That's one of the questions that these council members got to go with. And I think this is a conversation
I'm out
we're
on
having here.
putting $4 million to fix a terrible old pool.
To retrofit it?
Yeah,
I mean, it would look different, but
you put $4 million into it for basically the same exact pool. You're still going to get 35 people coming. Whereas if you just build a new one, you might get more than 35 people. So I'm out on the $4 million to retrofit it.
A lot of comments. I'm trying to keep up here.
It's not $9 million to fix the pool. I'm just jumping in here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's $4.5 million to fix the pool, $9 million to build a new one.
Yep.
Somebody had put it was 9 to fix and 12 to build a new.
Incorrect.
I want to get through all these comments because they're all important. John Pagon says industrial park can wait.
Yeah.
Eric Little says that does not cost $16,000. I would say this: anytime a government agency is involved, I mean,
taxpayers get hosed every time.
Every time.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what it is. You're
And
going to pay 5, 6, 7, 10 times what you'd pay in a private sector.
And I don't want to.
It's ridiculous.
And I kind of act like I'm just settling with that because
There should be legislation passed that can't be that way because it is absolute absurdity what they charge just to do studies.
Highway robbery.
John says, I worked at the Oklahoma City Community College Aquatic Center, and they lost close to $1 million a year on their pool. Pools don't make money, but they are great for the community.
For those 50 people.
We agree with that. Tanya Nichols. You know Tanya Nichols?
She's beautiful.
There are probably less kids at the pool because they're playing video games and watching TikTok these days.
Thank you. That's part of my argument. The kids don't go do stuff as much as they used to.
Larry says, preach, Phil.
I just
Getting back to the comments here.
this is a terrible situation I find myself in.
I know.
Because
I'm the same way.
Because I would love to say, yeah, build a pool. I think that's great. We got to pay for it. Ronnie, focus. Ronnie's over here doing business.
Mike, it's kind of long here, so Mike says, think about it, y'all. Indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool, year-round swimming, job opportunities, possible fire, EMS, aquatic training center, school swimming team, diving, revamping the entire Highland Park, plus tax dollars, tourism, and local. This could happen. Go big on this.
Who said that?
Then you're strapped if something big happens.
I'm in.
So,
Then what do you do?
That's a great plan if you had the money to pay for it. So we've already established that pools, not one pool makes money. Oklahoma City, Edmond has this. Are they making money?
Tanya says, I think the splash pads are more popular. Tanya, I brought that up. The mineral wells and mineral wells and Banner Park have been really popular. I was talking to a group of people. I said, what about we build an $800,000 state-of-the-art splash pad at Highland Park? Mm-hmm. Well, 14, 15-year-old can't go enjoy a splash pad.
I'd like to know how many 14 and 15-year-olds are going to the pool right now.
That's the response.
No, I know that, but I mean, I'd like to know that. You back with us?
Eric says, come to Uncle Eric's house. He's got a slide.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Cousin Nate, Phil, you better be careful with those words. You'll have a lot of folks at your front door.
Come on.
He ain't, yeah.
More the merry.
Brittany says, First Lady of Cedar Valley, I agree, Tanya. The splash pads are great and well worth the money. I agree with that. Maneka says, I get a lot of customer complaints about our sales tax. And honestly, you know, when the sales tax comes up, CIP sales tax comes up in 7.5 years, I think it's a great discussion to see if it extends it. Like, it will happen. We're already talking about it, extending it right now. It will happen. And they say, well, it's no new tax. It's just an extension. But that will come up, and
Got to pay for stuff.
People will do that. Tracy Williams, who is a council member and had some great things to say last night at the council meeting. And if you missed the council meeting, you can go to Guthrie News page, YouTube page, and the meeting is there. And a lot of this is not in this detail like we're having here, dialogue here, but a lot of these facts are going in there. So right now the council is waiting on more information from that study. Tracy says, 2 years ago when I ran for council, Guthrie's budget versus population was $1,200 per citizen. Edmond was $5,400 per citizen. That's what you're talking
What
about
was
earlier.
Guthrie?
$1,200.
I mean, we got to quit comparing ourselves to Edmond, guys. You got to quit it. I mean, we can have nice things, and we should have nice things.
Yeah.
But if you wanna, what's that famous car, the Bugatti? Is that the big high dollar car there?
F-150.
Okay. If you want a Bugatti that costs $3 million, who wouldn't want to have one of those? They're gorgeous, right? But if the budget allows you to go get a Chevy, go get a Chevy. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
To me, this also shows the kids watch us when we talk about these things, right? And I get it. In a perfect world, this wouldn't even be a question. We'd be able to build a new pool. But they also look at us because we're always telling them to make good decisions, be fiscally sound. You got to save your money, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And then we're sitting there talking about spending all this money on stuff when we've got real needs with running water and sewer systems, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff to pay for.
Public service.
I mean, do you want to have a pool, or do you want to have enough ambulances to take your mom, dad, child to the ambulance when they get hurt or they're sick? I mean, because it's all got to be paid for.
I want a pool because I get.
Of course, I know you would. Right?
I hate driving to Kingfisher for birthday parties. It's just the worst. I wish if I could just drive right down Highland Park or walk from mom's house to the brand new pool, that'd be great.
This is a real problem. All these needs are a real problem. Comes with growth.
G.F. Guthrie says kids say all the time how how there isn't anything for them to do in town.
Who said that?
G.F. Guthrie.
Who says that?
Kids said there's no. I see it all the time on Facebook. There's nothing for the kids to do. They need something for kids to stay out of trouble.
Town I grew up in Kansas 40 years ago. There's nothing for kids to do. Every town I've ever lived in, there's nothing for kids to do.
So it's not,
no matter what you have, there's nothing for kids to do. Maybe that's true, but you still have to pay for all this stuff. You have to pay for it.
Maneka, all parks are negative revenue, splash pads included. We agree?
Yeah.
Mike, so that's $12 million per year. Do you know what the city brings in tax dollars?
What's $12 million a year?
I'm not sure what $12 million a year. The city brought in, as far as the CIP capital improvements, brought in $1.7 million this year, which is a good year.
It's a long ways away from 12.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
don't know what the 12 is referring to.
That might have been a while back. So I'm just trying to catch up to the comments. Jim Guthrie, and those amenities age, we'll just get rid of them when replacing as a tax base and our budget dwindles. Yeah,
what?
And as those amenities age, we will just get rid of them without replacing as a tax base and our budget dwindles. Well, the pool has lasted
60 years?
80 years? Yeah. Probably.
I'm not going to. Well, 87's a goal.
It could have gone 40 or 60 years, but it's
Yeah.
It just goes back to the past, how water lines, sewer lines were ignored and just pushed down the line.
I just don't. I mean,
now we're So
I mean, I'm on the EMS board. I just left a meeting with all these building permits being pulled to build new homes. Guthrie's obviously growing. For those of you that haven't been here very long, and people go back way much farther than I do, but the 23 years I've lived here, sorry for some of you.
I'm gotten used to it now.
Okay. But when we got here, I never had a problem pulling out on division, finding a place to park. Maybe I didn't like it but there was always, those were never issues. Real big issues. Since I've been here in 23 years, the amount of new businesses, the amount of new homes that's been built, astronomical. So when people say nobody's going to come to Guthrie if we don't, that's not true. They're already coming to Guthrie, and that's part of the reason why we have this huge problem, which is a good problem to have. But I think we've got to start addressing, you got to address the needs first.
Roads, water, sewer.
The needs, not the wants, the needs. And it may take some time. Maybe, hopefully someday we can get to a place where we have the money to do all the wants. But you got to do the needs first. If you got to pick between going on vacation or paying your mortgage, you pay your mortgage. If you got to pick between going on vacation or buying food, you buy food.
Another example is
it's not complicated.
Is the school district here in Guthrie? They just had to prepare roofs, buildings. They can't go out. And they are building 2 schools because they desperately need it because of size and age of the buildings.
Because people are moving to Guthrie.
Yeah. So when's enough? So, for instance, we talked about, I'm just playing the other side. So you talk about got to build roads. We got to do the roofs and all this stuff. But those things are forever. You always have to replace those eventually. So that's been going on so when they talked about this 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if they talked about it, it'd still be the same thing. Well, we got to do the roads, got to do that.
But that's part of the problem. They didn't.
That's my point.
Yeah.
We have the roads.
These people in a bad spot.
Why are we so far behind? It seems what I'm getting at.
Because we didn't stay up on all this stuff over the years. We
City
pushed
and
it back.
school.
We pushed it back. We pushed it back. We couldn't pass a bond issue to save our lives in
10
this
straight
town
failed bond issues.
for the school district. And then Dr. Simpson came in. People in the community got involved, and we've gotten that going down the right path. You know, so there's a lot of this stuff that it's not the decisions that have been made recently. These are all problems that started years and years ago, where people just neglected basic. If you got a home, and if you don't take care of your home's going to fall apart. I mean, it's not.
So if we take care of those problems now, is what you're saying is we'll have to worry. We'll have to worry about.
Well,
that
you got to
stuff.
take care of them, but then maintain them and stay on top of it.
Right.
You may never get to all your want list, but that's like everybody's life now.
Yeah.
I mean, people make decisions every day in their personal lives on what they need and what they want. I mean, it's just part of it.
OCCC, the community college, they closed their pool because it was a money loser with no end in sight.
Gee, imagine that.
Okay, GF Guthrie, we agree. Oh man, there it is. We agree patching up is a waste. They need to replace it.
So where are we going to find $9 million, Gia Guthrie? Where's that going to come from? I mean, I love you. Don't know who you are, but I love you. But where are we going to find out where that is? How are we going to find that money? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, I'm out on fixing it for $4 million.
No, okay, $9 million. Where are you going to come on $9 million?
I'm not for the $9 million either. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I hope they don't say, because what you said, this is up to the 7 council people. This doesn't even go to a vote. If they want to spend $4 million to patch it just to fix it in 5 years, that's just straight. City council makes those decisions, right?
Chris Habit says we can't even find lifeguards to keep ours open regularly. If we're building a nice $9 million facility or whatever the price would be, it's gonna be more lifeguards. That's more cost. That's more money you lose.
Yep.
And it's not a revenue maker. How much is quality of life? How much is that? So that's
Tracy just posted a really good one.
yeah.
Tracy Williams.
I promise I'm working there to get all these in here real quick. Maneka says grant depends on population and income base. Larry Busby says I lived in Kansas for 40 years. We have it great out here in Guthrie. Trust me, y'all have all you want with a 30-minute drive. It kind of cuts off. 30-minute drive from here. Tanya, spending anything for the benefit of 35, 50 people, less than 1% of the population is unfair for property owners.
Well, the government's changing all the rules and regulation now because of the 1% of the population. Right?
$9 million to fix the pool
That's
versus
stupid.
$12 million for a new pool. Well, to fix the pool would be about $4.5 million in today's money, 2023.
Yep.
But that's going to go up, boys and girls.
Yeah. Why not bump it up and get a big indoor year round? More money. $9 million is for an outdoor.
that
You
way
start
we-
out of a roof.
That way we can build a monstrosity that loses even more money.
Even more money.
I mean, it's
Mike, just to recap, take Chris. Just to recap, Kingfisher's indoor pool brought in $90,000
total.
It cost $336,000, so they lost $240,000. And I think $90,000 is really, really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that. That's really good. Okay. Tanya,
Oh boy.
something pools are that revamp anymore. TikTok is more entertaining and costs zero. Meant to say pools. We know what you meant there.
Just your identity.
Alfred,
But that's
the
what people are
boxer,
doing.
Radcliffe. I could then paying all the money to open a new pool and no one's showing up.
Alfred fighting for a championship here in a couple months. I don't know if you knew
Wow,
that. or
I
not.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Carrie, let's go back to slip and slides and water in all the yards at the same time. John, splash pads do not recirculate the water. They do have some that recirculate the water, but it comes with so many things that you have to do. You have to clean stuff multiple times a day. It's a headache. It wouldn't work.
Chris, we had somebody that wants to remain anonymous that said, why not partner with the country club? They have a brand new nice pool. It's very small. It wouldn't hold even 50 kids.
Yeah. 20, 25.
It used to be bigger, but they made it smaller.
Yeah.
And why'd they do that?
Cost. Yeah, cost.
Medicus says teenagers aren't trying to play in splash pads.
I don't think most teenagers trying to play anywhere.
Man, I missed almost the whole show, but it was good. Seabolt.
Joshua?
Yeah.
That's what.
You can always rewind, Josh.
Jesus.
Why Jesus?
You can always rewind.
He's the man.
Tanya, how many 14 to 25-year-olds go to the pool? Probably 0, maybe 2. 0.0001% of the population.
My girl's doing math.
Connor would go. Connor would go.
Well, when he turns 14, he's going
12.
to
He's 12.
He's going to discover something.
He's almost 13.
When he turns 14,
Phil, stop.
sorry.
We're doing good. This is
But he's going to discover something else.
Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Good grief.
It's the truth.
Let's see here.
Maybe.
Leave the pool as is and change the 14, 15-year-olds to use it as a skate park, Dana says. Eric Little, how about to have a place for grown-ups and kids at the same place? John, 900 new homes coming online. That's going to be a challenge on everything.
That's right.
Tanya, if a pool is that important, those who want it should do fundraisers to raise the money for it. Infrastructure needs to come first. Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can raise.
Well,
that money.
that's my wife.
Oh, okay. I know. I'm saying.
No.
I understand, but
Honey, it was a good thought.
well, you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let's keep it down.
Say it. Just say it.
GF Guthrie, if the money doesn't go to the pool, is it going to go to the industrial park? It's not like they're going to reallocate that to EMS or roads.
What was that?
If the money doesn't go to the pool, is it going to go to the industrial park? It's not likely they're going to reallocate that to EMS or roads. This is the capital improvement money that we're talking about. Right now, the council says, we're allocating $4 million to the industrial park.
And remember,
And that money has not been spent, so that can change.
but also, and I don't know if it falls in it, but there's a lot of things, but by law, you can't take money that was for this and use it for this. And I mean, there's just laws that, to be quite frank.
Well, the ballot language is capital improvement project.
Right. But there's
Roads is, I guess, yeah.
But I'm just saying, there are a lot of rules that our city council has to play within. They got to paint inside all these lines that don't necessarily always make sense. Like doing ambulance runs to people that don't pay for them.
Tracy says general fund today is $12 million divided by
Same shot.
11,000 population, so we have a $1,900 per citizen. Moving on up, so we were $1,200, now we're $1,900.
Yeah, no, it's
per
going
citizen,
up.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Almost caught up on comments. That's even better. Tracy also says Oklahoma had an article recently on how difficult to find lifeguards for Oklahoma City pools. The YMCA had an issue with that as well.
Yeah.
In Edmond.
Country Club always had issues with that too when I was growing up.
Seabolt.
Oh, boy.
I'm 35 with 3 kids. Boy, he looks good.
Oh, no. I'm getting ready to go against Jesus.
People my age with
he's
young
good.
kids go
You're
to
like it.
splash pads, not pools. Guthrie has awesome splash pads.
Wise man.
Wisest man I know.
All I would say,
He gets me to heaven.
oh, okay.
He's helped me.
I
get
can
there.
help you get
He's
there,
helped.
too.
He's
I can
helped
help
me
you get there, too.
I mean, maybe a little quickly. Yeah, a little quicker than I want.
But for me, it kind of, we all want it,
Sure.
but you got to be able to afford it. And I think you got to prioritize. In the military, they teach you you kill what can kill you first, right? Our water problem, and we're going to have a bigger water problem, guys. I mean, we get a lot of our water that comes down up around Deer Creek, comes down through here.
Yeah, flush twice, please.
So there's a lot of problems that are coming down the road with being able to provide enough water. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that's got to be addressed. And I think if we don't prioritize them and go through the needs first, build once in there that we can afford when we can. But man, I can think of a lot of other places to spend $9 million other than a swimming pool.
So do you continue to patch it like we have the last several years and just to get it back open? Maybe they come back and say,
No, I don't think we have a pool.
Just get rid of it.
I don't think we have a pool. I mean, when you build a home, does everybody that builds a home build a pool?
No.
And why is that?
They're too expensive.
Some people can't afford a pool.
Yeah.
Can't afford a pool.
I mean,
But we have a pool, but if you do repairs, if this group comes in and says, well, if you fix this line, that's going to fix, I think it's going through the concrete, but if you come in and fix this line, you're not going to leak 40,000 gallons per day. So if you spend $500,000, your pool will be operational again. Now that doesn't mean the bathrooms aren't ADA.
Well,
you still
you're going to have to spend more than that. I mean, but I think
I was just throwing that option out there.
Right. But I think we still got to go back to how do you run your personal budget. That's what I think.
I agree. I
Raise taxes, get a pool is what Phil said.
Nope, Phil didn't say that.
Carrie says, how much would it cost to get rid of the pool completely?
Backfill it.
We can do that.
Yeah.
S&T can do that
Backfill
tomorrow.
it. Yeah, today.
Can do that. Yeah. Uncle Bobby, do you think the industrial park that far out would really attract any business? I think so. I will use, for one example, I remember Bar S Food wanted back before my news day.
Shut that down.
Bar S Foods wanted to come, but the neighbors didn't want that, and it was kind of out of the town. And so I think industrial people like that, big business like Bar S Food, don't want to be in town. They want to be out by themselves. So I think that's one example. I think it would be fine out there.
We also, because you'll run water out there and sewer.
You got to. And
Right, because
electricity.
Because you can't run a septic. I mean, you can't run a.
You can't have an industrial park without those
Right,
three. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Big issues, tough issues, much bigger issues, way above my pay grade. I'm glad people like Tracy and Brian and
that's part of
to make those
and that's
decisions.
why I feel like when they have this discussion, not for us to talk, but to get the feedback from the people as well to see where most people are. And a lot of people, without the details, without the information, they automatically say we want a pool. The kids got to have a pool. But once you get into the
first year we were back, did you? When there was a pool? Huh? Okay, so no. Okay. Go ahead.
people without knowing the details want a pool, without thinking, yes, we want a pool. But I think once you kind of get into the numbers, what it would take and the process, then you have to make choices and decisions. And that's where we're at. So I think the feedback here will hopefully help. I'll write an article about this with our opinions and just the facts, but that will come.
I can write an opinion piece for you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
So anyway, that is the pool discussion. Did we make things worse? Did we help?
I think we made things. I think it's always good when you can have conversations, and obviously I don't have to say this, but I think it's clear what I think. Doesn't mean that's what the majority thinks. Doesn't what it's what the community wants. I just wish we could find out a way. I wish there was a way to find out what the community truly wants, right? Because once you know what they truly want, then you can start addressing, okay, is it a need or a want that we can afford?
Let's caucus at the pool one night.
The only true way you can find out is go for a sales tax extension.
Yeah.
Vote yes or no. Let the people decide.
I'm telling you, then you're hurting
Is that the
business.
smart
then
thing?
Then you're hurting business owners.
Is that the right thing to do? Yeah.
I mean,
I think you would stay at 9%. You just extend the tax.
Yeah.
So it would say
Might be better to extend because they might just raise it after a
Because
while.
weren't we at one point like 9.75,
no
9.5?
I think
We were
this-
over 9.
This is the most I remember.
No, we were over 9 for a period of time. We were
Since I've been watching it close.
Well, no, since I've lived here, I know we paid more than 9 for a period of time. Maybe it was 9.25 or something like that, but we did pay more than 9.
So the most I remember the city had at the time 3%. The county with the hospital had 1%. That's 4. The state's always been 4.5. So 8.5. I think 9's the most I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But that's all I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember. Maybe it was because of the Logan County Hospital. I know there was a tax there that rolled off years ago when it was the Logan County Hospital before
Mercy purchased
it.
Tony says, I don't know anyone who takes their kids to the pool. I know several that use the splash pads. And every weekend, I take my puppies, drive them around the park, and there's lots of people. Every time I go through, there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
at the splash pad.
I was asked if I take my kids to the pool. No, I don't. Because one, I'm cheap. I don't want to spend money to go to the pool. I got friends who have pools, or I can go to splash pad for free. That's the main reason I don't go to the pool.
If you build a big old facility, it's going to cost more to get in.
My kids will
so
love
if you're
to
not spending $3 to get in,
No.
you're not going to spend, although the slides.
If they built a brand new one and they had slides and dive boards, yes, I would take my kids there. They would love it.
Yeah.
But no, my friends have swimming pools. The splash pads are great. My kids love splash pads.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough topic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think though, if you don't have the information, like,
that's good.
But if you throw it in there, it's oh wow,
that's
okay,
very good. And I think the fact that literally everybody agrees that a pool is a complete money loser.
Spend
Right.
spend
Everybody
16
agrees.
grand to make sure that everybody says, okay, no, I don't want to spend $9 million. Okay, I think that's fine.
I don't know. It's just.
Trace says, thanks to Eddie Faulkner, the city manager, and Leroy Alsop, the former city manager. Eddie took over for Leroy, who put the budget before us to make reasonable decisions to pay for needs then once.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
I mean, and I know that's what Tracy raised his family here. I mean, all these people on city council that I'm aware of have either lived here their whole lives, have raised kids here, have done all this stuff. You know, these people are trying to make the best decision they can. We need to support them any way we can. But I think being educated and understanding the details, the facts, the numbers are important, right?
Yeah,
My
numbers.
business partner Dave Evans tells me every day, numbers are important. Numbers are important. They're important, right? And again, that doesn't mean that it's no forever, but maybe it's no for right now. And that's not the perfect scenario, but you have to pay for these things.
John says, put a big old slide at the lake.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
What lake? There's no
I would
water.
always, growing up, I'd rather go swim in the river or a pond. When I was growing up,
I used to swim in Highland Park pond.
Yeah.
Oh, Hudson Lake?
Yeah, whatever they call it.
Hudson Lake.
Hey, well, is there something going on Friday in Guthrie?
Is it homecoming week?
Homecomer.
20
Homecomer.
years.
Oh, now you're bragging.
Party time.
Homecomer.
Yeah, homecoming. Let's see, the alumni assembly was at 8:30 in the morning.
9 a.m. I thought.
Was it 9?
Did we register at 8:30?
Oh, here we go.
This is a real thing. I need to know this. I got to be there.
Well, you got houses to do.
Do you have a homecoming shirt?
no.
You have a homecoming shirt?
Oh no. Huh?
You have a homecoming shirt, class shirt?
I do. I'm picking up tomorrow
Did you go
at
to my
Mirror
house
Wells.
today?
Is it say 96 kicks?
No. What's 96 kicks? Oh, that was yours. Yeah, no.
Well,
Because
wait a second. Why weren't you at my house today?
I went there last week.
You were there last week?
Yeah.
I just get it every 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3.
Every 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's the life of a mosquito, Phil.
Life cycle mosquito. Chris's do actually.
You're
I gotta get the
You're going to throw in that renewal next year. That's a joke. I'm doing it again.
There'll be a fee.
Oh, I know. Fees everywhere.
There's going to be a contract, and then there's going to be a fee for you.
Fees everywhere.
So 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get there at 8:30.
Get there at
I'll be there at 8
Talk to
o'clock.
your friends.
I'll be there at 8
Plenty of
o'clock.
people to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
friends
at-
come find me.
that's
I got a
at
key
9.
over. I'll just let you
That's
know.
at the high school, at the gymnasium. We've outgrown the cafeteria.
Yes.
It's now at the gymnasium. Very nice gymnasium.
Very nice.
Make sure that AC's on, Cody.
The hotel lobby. It looks like a hotel
Yeah, it
lobby now.
does. Very nice.
The lobby will be a great gathering place.
Yes.
Have
Yep.
conversations. You
Yep.
don't have to go in the seats and talk. You can talk out in the lobby area. So that's at 8:30, 9 o'clock ish. I had that question the other day, and I want to say I get there
Big
at
donuts
8:30.
for the alumni when you get there.
My homecoming is this weekend, and I'll be calling Blue Jay football game.
Dude, his contract
Paying
calls
the
for you to
price.
be here. Yep.
Paying the price. Sacrifice, Ronnie.
You kidding me? This guy's got a schedule to do state championship baseball. They're going to OU, Texas.
Every year.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, Ronnie.
I quit.
Oh, you quit?
Well, OU, Texas game.
I'll cover it.
You can't quit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what? I can't do this? Is this production?
No. This is
production
calling,
and
production and
play-by-play.
calling.
You got to
Yeah.
do both?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm no good. Well, at either one of those for baseball.
Maybe we need to take
What about
part in it.
cheerleading? Cheerleading states next week.
Oh, I'm in.
Okay.
No, I can do that. Give me a G. Let's see.
So the schools are out at 2:10 p.m.
Yep.
So
And they're out late
if
because
your kiddos are-
if you get out of here earlier than that, it doesn't count as a day of school. I mean, it doesn't, because I had some people asking those questions.
Yep. So buses,
Parades at 3.
parades at 3,
Oh, praise at 3.
Hall of Fame ceremony 4.
4 o'clock.
We'll be live streaming.
We will the Guthrie News page will live stream the parade. And
I'll be in
then-
it. Look for me out there.
Are you in it? 2 years in a row for you then, right?
Was it
Were you in it
homecoming?
last year?
Was it the homecoming parade that you fired me on the air?
No, that was. I remember the party.
I wasn't in it last year. No.
We were at the junior high.
Oh, yeah. You fired me right on the air.
Yeah.
Look dead in the camera and says, Phil, you're fired. That's exactly what he said.
Chris fired
Didn't
me.
last very long.
That's what he said.
Chris fired me.
No, I was in the 89er parade 2 years in a row.
89er parade, okay.
This will be my first one, my first homecoming parade in 5 years.
Are we doing the float for the Hall of Fame?
That's your area.
Well, I haven't gotten a call from anybody.
You have a hitch to.
I got a hitch. I got a trailer.
You got a hitch on that new truck?
Well, I mean, it's not that new.
How many miles has it on it? 34.
I had 1.7 miles when I drove it off the line.
So the Hall of Fame ceremony the Hall of Famers will be recognized at the alumni assembly at
Yeah.
the high school, and then they will be recognized at the parade.
Yep.
We think, and then at 4 o'clock or soon after the parade, go to the Oklahoma Territorial Sports Museum, and we'll have a reception there for the 1968 and 1969 state championship teams. They're going into the Hall of Fame. Jerry Ball was on that team.
Yeah.
Jerry Ball was on that team.
Love me some Jerry Ball.
And head coach Bob Griffin
Is he coming?
plans to be here.
That's
nice.
awesome.
Coach Griffin was inducted into the Oklahoma Coaches Association
awesome.
last year. And researching a little bit, I knew about 68, 69 winning state championship. 67, runner-up.
Yeah.
Runner-up.
They had a run there. They were just loaded with athletes.
And then also going into the Hall of Fame this year will be recognized at Alumni Assembly, be recognized at the Sports Museum, and also at halftime
The Godfather.
of the high school football game against Tuttle Tigers. A fantastic game.
It's gonna be a great game.
I'm mentioning the game real quick because we're going to spend some time on DeMarco. The game will be big time. It's been blowout. Get to the stadium because
Number 3, 4A, number 3, 5A.
number 3, 4A Tuttle,
Yep.
number 3, 5A Guthrie. It was a great game last year. It'll be another one. This will be a 4-quarter ball game. This will be
yeah.
big time. In fact, it's the game of the week in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is.
It's the game of the week. And at halftime, 68, 69 teams will be recognized, as well as DeMarco Jones, the 2002 state championship quarterback.
Godfather.
We call him the Godfather.
The Godfather of
The Godfather
Guthrie.
of Guthrie football.
We got a little blowback from some of the old timers my age. Well, it's a Godfather.
I thought that was great.
I thought it was great too.
I thought it was a great
Okay.
nickname.
Oh,
None of the older guys took us to our first state title.
That's right.
see,
The
when
Godfather did.
okay,
Sure did.
so real quick before we talk about DeMarco, and thank you, Steph, for the
Every week.
yes, thank
Although
you.
it is getting smaller.
This will be this will be our first. Steph gets on here. If you give a super chat, you get mentioned here. Thank you, Steph, for that $5 donation. We'll make
appreciate
sure it
it.
works to the studio. This will be our first homecoming. Got our rock football T-shirts. Yeah,
right.
Steph. This is going to be right up your alley.
No, it's perfect.
It's a full day of stuff. And Guthrie does homecoming like no other high
No
school.
other.
I mean, OSU's huge on theirs. It's not to that level. But for high school,
It's at that level.
that level.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
absolutely.
No doubt.
Thank
Keep
you,
talking
Steph.
about DeMarco. Keep going.
So, okay. So before I made the post, I wrote the article and I shared the news page and I was like, the Godfather of Guthrie football. I was like, okay. Anytime I do a post or article, I'm like, okay, this group is going to say this.
Yeah,
This group is going to be
gonna
mad at
say
this.
that. Yeah.
And you know what it is. So Godfather, I was like, looking up Godfather, see the definition of it. Okay. Yep, that fits it. You know what? I'm going with it. I know someone's going to have feedback.
Oh, yeah.
The Godfather. And so I've heard good things about
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So some of the older guys.
Yeah, they weren't.
I know
They
what you
weren't
mean.
over the
Yeah.
I
top.
can
but
tell
but
you.
get this the little. They were like, well, we got a couple guys.
I can tell you, DeMarco loved it. He's going to be walking to the gym. He's going to walk in the gym like this. What's up? Just call me Godfather from now on.
Well, I'll say this:
Control
DeMarco.
Brothers played in the NFL.
Yeah.
But
He wasn't
DeMarco maybe opened that door.
He
for him.
opened that door for him. There's
He
no
opened
doubt
the
about
door.
it.
We've
It's
had
not
a-
just a one-man team like you say all the time.
No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
But-
we talk about this O2 team, and the O2 team is in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
As they should be. You know, they started the season 2-2. They went on a 10-game run. They went on a playoff run, unlike anything I've ever seen in high school football. I'm not just talking about in Guthrie. I mean anywhere. They walked the gauntlet.
Ardmore, Tall Sea
Oh, my
Central,
Lord.
Chickasha.
And
Booker T.
just
Washington.
and every one of those teams every week was like, man, it's been a good year.
It was
It's been
a
a
good
good
run.
it's been a good run. Then we'd win and go, holy smokes, next week.
That's cool.
Man, it's been a great run. It's been a great. Then you get to the seminary, it's like, well, listen, this is more than we could have ever dreamed for. Then you win that, and you're like, okay, we're in the state title. Well, listen, this is awesome. We're going to get a silver bottle. This is great. A ball. This is great.
We're playing at OU.
Playing at OU.
We're playing the
For
number one team.
Chickasha. They did semis. Yep.
Semis, yeah. It was OSU for the
OSU
finals.
for the
Yep.
finals.
And then the Fog moves in that night. We're playing a team that's got literally first-round draft picks in the NFL.
Yep.
Two of them. You got like five.
Quinn Chaney.
You got
Yep.
just
That doesn't
studs
count.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You got studs everywhere. So, but this is a great. I mean, what
Player
a
of the
great
year in the state of Oklahoma went to Tennessee.
Player of the year in the state of Oklahoma, Tennessee, and all we did led by DeMarco Jones.
Yep.
I say led. I think O2 had the best offensive and defensive lines I've ever seen in Guthrie, Oklahoma. I don't even think it's close.
Agree.
I mean, just freaks of nature all the way across the lines. And then you had these incredible, 3 or 4 incredible skilled kids, and then all these great role players. And then Rafe Watkins, early in his run here, the staff put it all together, mixed it up, gave us a gold ball, the first ever in the history of our school. incredible moment. I just got goosebumps reliving it.
Yep.
It's great play.
It was awesome.
Great athletes.
Awesome.
And then you have players like Jason Shoemaker.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Just
Cody,
awesome.
Cody Garrett,
Garrett.
Doug Pearson.
Doug Pearson.
Love it.
John
the
Hudson.
smallest guy on the
Josh Chappell, sophomore, playing defensive back.
Second, yeah.
The smallest man on the offensive line, Jonathan Farrow, was our
Just
center.
and
Just
a monster.
moving people
Yeah,
around.
moving people.
Moving
It
people.
was awesome.
No, it was
awesome.
And if you remember, this is what I always remember. And when we got in the playoffs that year, Penrod, the kicker, he missed an extra point every single game. He missed that first extra point against Booker T. Everybody goes, "Oh no!" I just sit on the sideline and go, "Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we're gonna win."
I mean, it was just so much awesome because I remember Russell Rush. One of my favorite Blue Jay of all time was Russell. One of my great friends. He hit Felix Jones
So hard.
every single play. That was his role all night long.
Just
Hit
hit him.
Felix Jones as much and as often as you possibly can.
Here's you look at the game, and we'll get when you look at the state championship game. Our best player touched the ball 40 times. Their best player touched it maybe 8 or 9 times.
Yeah, it is one of those
Yeah.
deals because we've said this before, and this is meant with no disrespect to our championship team, the 2002 championship team. I can make an argument if we play them 100 times, that's the only game we win. I mean, it was just one of those special nights where the kids went out and earned it. They battled, they won it. The coaching staff did a tremendous job. The community showed up like unbelievably.
Yep.
It was just one of those magical moments in high school sports.
You got to remember that 02 season was literally not just because we won state that year, but that changed Guthrie football because of that game against Douglas.
Yeah,
we
it
went
did.
into halftime. Coach Mashew and Coach Watkins sit down there, and Coach Atchison and Mick, we got to do something different. Shotgun spread formation was
The rest is
there. We almost came back and beat Douglas in that second half, but from there we couldn't be stopped.
No, it was a mission.
Because Nate says get to the stadium early. Absolutely, it will be
No.
packed. There will not be a seat to be found. So, good point there to get there early. John Pagona says thanks, guys. Great show. Appreciate that. Larry says I heard Phil was going to be getting in the ring for BCW Wrestling Friday.
Who said that?
Larry Busby says you're.
Well,
gonna
Larry, you're wrong. I'll be doing the Blue Jay broadcast. I have responsibilities.
that you're out.
No, it's not an out. It's the truth is. When you just said under contract, I had to be there.
It's good. I just tested you.
Yeah. No, I'll never miss a game again.
What about your son? Will he be there Friday?
Well, that's touch and go. Depends on if the nation calls him back up.
Well,
Jeff Guthrie says we're definitely excited for the homecoming coverage. It would be a long day. In fact, tomorrow Thursday I got to get everything done, production wise, because I will not be in front of a
No, you
computer.
won't. You're going to have a long day tomorrow. No lunch tomorrow for Chris.
Thursday.
That's tomorrow.
I can maybe push.
Okay,
push to get through lunch. I got to refuel the
I'll be
body.
in town tomorrow.
Also, not that it matters, but we have 2 FFA students that will be in the studio Friday to do their Zoom interview.
At what time?
11:30.
Oh boy. Okay, we'll talk off the air.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like I'm relocating to Friday.
You need the studio.
Same 2 kids.
Same 2 kids.
They're winners.
Yeah, they are winners.
State champions.
So they're trying to get back to the big
awesome.
stage for FFA. More on that later.
We have a little better setup for them this year.
Well, a lot better setup.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So appreciate that, Cousin Nate. The state championship game was probably the greatest game I've ever witnessed in Guthrie.
Yep.
I agree with that.
It was awesome.
I agree with that. And of course, if you could get a group of wishes, one of my wishes would be to see the 07 team play the 02 team.
Yeah.
You know,
be fun.
love them both in their own way, incredibly impactful.
Okay, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you right here.
Well, catch me.
You've always said
07 beat 02.
you've always said that.
Yeah.
But you've always said the game is won in the trenches.
That's right.
And you said 02 has the best offensive
They
defense line
did.
you ever had.
They did.
So 02.
They weren't that much better than 07. Not when you had Kai Staley. You had
I'm talking trenches.
I'm saying the trenches in 07 were great also.
07 team had better skill players. I would agree with that.
Much better skill players. Much better skill players. No disrespect to our kids in 02. But the 07 trench guys were great. 02 is the best of us.
Well, you know, another great thing to kind of talk about 02,
Larry.
our first state championship, and then this season's team. Guthrie, this team this year could have a chance. Again, if they get Carl Albert in a state
they
championship
could.
game, we had
scenario.
no business being Booker T.
Absolutely.
And
could
our
still
Guthrie
do it.
team probably doesn't have any business being Carl Albert this year, but anything can happen. You get a state championship game.
And just because you lose, if you lose in the regular season, baby, it don't matter.
I hope Carl Albert beats us by 50 points.
Well,
And
not
if we, well, it was 49 last year.
Well,
And if we give him a state championship game this year, that's good. You give him a state championship game after whooping.
no, but you're right, Ronnie. Anything can happen, and this group of kids is coming together. They're doing great. I think a couple areas we clean up some of the penalties, turnovers. You know, this team's very capable. It's very capable, and they're disciplined, and they're a great group of kids.
Yeah.
A great group of kids. So, a lot of things about this group reminds me. The one thing that doesn't is we don't have a DeMarco Jones, but we've only had a DeMarco Jones, in my opinion, one time.
Well, you didn't have a DeMarco. Don't have a DeMarco. We don't have a Keenan because Keenan was go-getter on kickoffs, punts.
Yeah.
You don't have a Dante.
Special
kids. All stars. Yep.
Yeah.
We invite you out to the stadium for sure. Get there early. Tailgate as always. That will still be there. It is a happening place. And if you can't make it out there, we will all, of course, have the coverage of the game on Guthrie News page, GMP TV. And a lot of compliments. A lot of people will have noticed a difference in the picture quality.
Yeah, they have.
It's
that's thanks to you.
It's so good to hear that.
Yeah.
Because I see it, but just watching people don't.
I'm just glad the wind didn't take those cameras out last week.
Well, and I think this is an important thing to say, and Chris hates it when I do this, but Chris reinvests so much into the equipment, and it's all Chris that does that. Reinvests so much into the equipment.
Well, it was definitely it was.
But dude,
nervous to do it. It's a huge difference.
Now we might be shooting off.
And your $2,000 headsets he had to get you because you kept whining about.
They were only $2,000.
$2,000, yeah.
That's it. Oh, okay. Thought there were more.
We had to get cameras this year.
Oh, cameras. Yeah. Okay.
A big thank you to Larry Busby for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Larry.
That is big time. We thank you for that.
Got to pay Ronnie's salary somehow.
Yeah. Oh, really? When's that check coming in?
It's in the mail.
Oh, I got to write checks. I hope I don't forget for broadcast. It's the 4th. We have an off week next week. Non-district. I always cut checks there. Stay tuned.
Phil getting any?
Stay tuned.
That's a no.
Contracts are contracts, though.
I got to get a better negotiator.
All right. We need to get out of here. It is past 9 o'clock.
Holy smokes.
We only had one discussion. Well, two discussions,
Sweet
but
Jesus.
they were two good discussions. So
Somebody's going to have to drive me home.
we appreciate everyone's feedback on the on those topics. So it is homecoming week. We invite everybody out. It's going to be so much fun.
I do got one more thing. I do got one more
10
thing.
o'clock.
No. I got one more thing. So.
Oh, wait. Is it?
No, it's not.
See you next week.
It's not that one. But I was on my 22nd, 23rd house. I don't remember which one was the day.
He's bragging now.
But I was
sick and tired of hearing this.
But I was getting my backpack ready. A lady pulls into her house, and if you're watching, comment here. And she goes, Ronnie.
Do you know the lady?
Don't know her.
Okay.
She goes, Ronnie. I said, yes, ma'am. She goes,
G.F. Guthrie?
and she goes, just so you know, Chris.
Oh,
Really?
She goes, Chris is approachable.
Is?
oh.
Oh, wait.
No. She said Chris isn't unapproachable.
Okay.
He's selective.
Oh, that's worse.
She goes, yeah, it is.
That's
I think
worse.
it's kind of worse.
That's worse.
She did say, she goes, he's never been unapproachable to me. He's just selective. He's selective. So take it how you want. I mean, I'm in my gears, my towards the end of the route. She goes, just so you know, he's not unapproachable. He's selective.
I think he's unapproachable.
I have selective days, yes.
I said, you know what? I'll bring that up tonight.
I'm very approachable.
No, you're not.
I might have selective days where I can go.
She did say that you've never been unapproachable to her. She's been able to go up and talk to you.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Got flagged down today.
I appreciate the
by our
feedback.
fans.
There are fundraisers going on at the schools. There's still kids out there selling chocolates and candy bars and stuff. So
Deadline's Tuesday, right?
I think deadline's Tuesday. Well, was it Tuesday? I was told I had to have my money in tomorrow.
Oh.
By the boss.
Steph, final comment of the night goes to you. I watched the football game on my big TV. It was so clear. I usually watch on my phone, but the quality on 75-inch TV was amazing. And that's even more of a big compliment because usually the smaller device,
It's
not
clear.
as clear, but more bigger pixel.
Yeah,
So that's why that 1080p is a big deal.
Big deal.
Okay, we are out of here. Thank you all for being very approachable for tonight's show. A lot of great feedback. Dr. Simpson says, call it a night, boys. We'll give him the final comment.
He's always telling us.
Oh, he tells us what to do every day.
Jeez, every time.
He's in charge.
You got school in the morning, Ronnie. Get to bed.
That's your employer.
Oh,
Say good night, Ronnie.
good night.
Thanks for tuning in to the Open Mic Podcast. Join us each week from inside the Second Banana Media Studios located in beautiful downtown Guthrie. Catch our shows on Facebook and YouTube and also on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Until next time, so long from Guthrie, America.